Okay, think about this for a second. How many choices did you actually make today? A dozen? 100? Well, some researchers say it's more like thousands. Seriously, from the second you woke up, you've been deciding things. But what if I told you that for most of those choices, you weren't really the one in the driver's seat? What if there's a kind of hidden code running your life?
You know what I mean, right? So much of our day just happens on autopilot. And it kind of has to, because if we stop to think about every little thing, we'd be completely overwhelmed. We're guided by this invisible force, a set of mental rules that quietly steers us through all the noise of modern life.
Let's make this real. That coffee you ordered this morning, did you consciously weigh the pros and cons of every option on the menu? Or was it just, your usual? What about the toothpaste in your bathroom? Did you spend hours researching fluoride content, or did you just grab the one you always get? And the phone in your pocket, think about it. Why that one, really?
And that gets to the absolute heart of it. We feel like we're making all these active choices, but a lot of the time we're just following the path of least resistance. We're picking the default option, the one our brain just automatically selects without us even noticing.
But here's the thing, it's not random. There's a whole system to it, a kind of secret code that our brain uses to make life just a little bit easier. It's a mental shortcut that helps us get through the day without having a total meltdown in the cereal aisle.
In this powerful mental shortcut, it actually has a name. It's a really simple four-part system that explains why we do what we do and why we stick with what we know. It's called the default stack.
And here it is. These are the 4 layers that make a choice feel easy, obvious, and, well, right. It has to be familiar, clear, safe, and visible. See, when a product or an idea hits all 4 of these, it becomes almost impossible for our brains to resist. It just becomes our default.
So how does this actually play out in our brains? Let's unpack this code, okay? We're going to go one layer at a time and really see the psychology that makes these super simple concepts so incredibly powerful.
All right, first up, familiar. Our brains run on a simple rule. It's called the recognition heuristic. It's basically a quick and dirty shortcut. If we recognize something, we just automatically assume it has a higher value. We trust what we know. It's an old survival instinct, right? The familiar berry is probably safe to eat, but that strange one, maybe not so much.
And this bias isn't just about berries. It shows up even in huge, high-stakes decisions, like investing. Get this. A study found that a staggering 75% of investors, even the pros, put most of their money into companies they simply recognize. It doesn't matter if it's the best performer. Familiarity just feels safer than a better but unknown stock. Okay, next up is clear. Let's be honest, our brains can be pretty lazy. They prefer information that's simple, straightforward, and easy to process. This is something called the framing effect. The information is exactly the same. 90% fat-free is 10% fat, but the positive frame is just so much easier to get on board with. We are naturally drawn to clarity. Now we get to what might be the most powerful layer of the whole stack, safe. We are fundamentally wired to avoid loss. Behavioral economists have a name for it, loss aversion. And it's really simple. The sting of losing $20 feels way, way worse than the joy of finding $20. And this makes us incredibly resistant to change, because any change means giving something up. Think about the idea of switching phones, like from an iPhone to an Android. This shows the 2 huge fears that kick in. First, you've got the practical loss, right? You lose your apps, have to learn a new system, and all that seamless integration is gone. But then there's also the social loss. You might weaken your social identity or lose that feeling of belonging to a group. Both feel really risky, so we just stick with what feels safe. And the final layer of the stack is visible. We choose what we can see. It's that simple. As the Nobel laureate Richard Thaler said, putting fruit at eye level counts as a nudge. Just making one option more prominent, more visible, makes it way more likely to be picked. It's why the best-selling stuff in the grocery store is right at eye level. Not because it's the best, but because it's the first thing you see. So there you have it. 4 incredibly powerful forces: familiar, clear, safe, and visible. Now, what happens when a company gets really, really good at mastering all of them? Well, you get the ultimate default machine. Okay, so let's apply this stack. Remember it? Familiar, clear, safe, and visible, to one of the absolute best examples of this in the entire business world. Yep, I'm talking about the Apple ecosystem. These guys are absolute masters of the default stack. They have engineered their products and their marketing to make leaving feel nearly impossible. Just look at how they build this. Familiarity, that logo is literally everywhere, and their design is instantly recognizable on every single device. Clear?
The whole sales pitch is that it just works. Everything syncs up beautifully. Safe? We just talked about this. The switching costs are so high that it creates this massive fear of loss. And visible? Their products are in every movie, every TV show, in the hands of influencers. It creates this powerful social proof. They have absolutely perfected the stack.
So does this mean we're all just puppets of our own psychology? No, not at all. The cool thing is, once you can see the code, you can actually start to rewrite it. You can take back control of your own choices.
So let's look at the stack one last time. Familiar, clear, safe, and visible. Honestly, the biggest, most important step you can take is just being aware that these forces are at play. The next time you feel that automatic pull toward a certain choice, you can stop and you can ask yourself, wait a minute, is this a real choice or is this just the default? And here are two really practical things you can do to start breaking free. First, learn to ignore sunk costs. You know that feeling, oh, but I've already put so much time and money into this? That's a trap. Your decisions should always be about future benefits, not what you've already spent. And second, try to unbundle your identity from the brands you use. Ask yourself, does this product truly reflect my values, or have I just let its identity become my own?
The default stack is running in the background of your mind, right now, as we speak. But the difference is, now you can see it. So, my final question for you is pretty simple. What default choice, big or small, are you going to consciously reconsider today?